Hello, folks, how's it going? This is Lights Camera Review, and today we are reviewing Gehraiyaan. Gehraiyaan has been one of the most awaited movies this year, and it's finally out on Amazon Prime. Starring Deepika Padukone, Siddhant Chaturvedi, Ananya Pandey, and Dhairya Karwa, the movie promised to be a mirror into modern relationships, in the words of director Shakun Batra. Let's get to the plot. Deepika plays the role of Alicia, an ambitious yoga trainer who's saddled with the financial responsibilities of managing the household she shares with her boyfriend Karan, played by Dhairya. While Karan struggles as a writer, Alicia feels caught under the burden of monotony and the frustration of her life situation not improving. Ananya Pandey's character Tia is Alicia's rich cousin and has been dating Zain, played by Siddharth. The four meet during a weekend getaway, which leads to betrayal and lying. One lie often leads to another, and the next thing you know, your whole life is built on the back of lies. An unraveling of things that all these characters hide is what the movie is all about. Over here, I'd like to mention that the writers have definitely taken considerable amount of inspiration from the Hollywood movie Match Point, but that's a conversation for a later day. To begin with, I was looking forward to this Shakun Batra movie because it promised to be what the director called a mirror into modern relationships. Generally speaking, Bollywood doesn't quite shed much light on the topic of infidelity, and the last time it did try to do so with Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna, it wasn't well received. So, I wanted to see exactly how is cheating on your partner treated in Gehraiyaan, and is it glorified? If one thing is true, the movie does show how quickly things between even long-term partners can change in the modern world. At the same time, it is quite far away from glorifying cheating. The extreme consequences that are a result of it make the point quite clear. Well, that's what I felt, but I'd like to hear what you think about it. What I also appreciated was that this movie doesn't solely focus on infidelity. It also touches upon concepts such as class divide within families, problems of adulthood, and the childhood trauma. Shakun Batra, who was appreciated for quite perfectly showing the layered complexities of relationships in the movie Kapoor and Sons, doesn't quite replicate this concept in Gehraiyaan, but does try to get there. That's why the first half is definitely slow, but the second half has twists that will keep you engaged, and it's the ending that will leave you shocked. When it comes to the performances of the actors, the main cast doesn't stand out, and that isn't their fault alone. Dhairya Karwa's character Karan simply lacks a well developed storyline and is almost missing from the screen for the majority of the film. Ananya, I think, has done a decent job, but primarily because she's playing a character close to her real life persona. So, it isn't surprising that scenes where Tia must convey specific emotions are the ones where Ananya is the weakest. Siddharth Chaturvedi for me was the biggest disappointment. I look forward to his work post Gully Boy, but his performance isn't convincing either. Deepika Padukone, even though not at her best, has performed better than the rest. Also, we did see Zayn and Alicia cheating on their respective partners due to an ostensible instant attraction, but that chemistry between Deepika and Siddharth didn't quite translate on screen. And that's in spite of a director for intimate scenes on board. This had been a talking point before the release of the film because people thought the scenes will be extremely explicit, but in my opinion, there was nothing too scandalous. None of that GOT vibe, by the way. On another note, I do think some of the scenes where we see the characters getting intimate are unnecessary. I understand the script demands it argument, but overdoing it can undermine the storyline. It is, however, Rachit Kapoor and Nasruddin Shah who steal the show with their performances. Looking at the cinematography of Gehraiyaan, it is absolutely lovely. Kaushal Shah has done a beautiful job. The dull and bright hues of the frame perfectly convey the mood of the scene. The scenes where there are emotions and tension, it has a blue hue that portrays the elements of melancholy and confusion, while the sunset brightness is reserved for scenes that denote emotional warmth. The music of the movie is another thing people have been raving about since the trailer came out. I too am guilty of listening to the title track on loop. The background score, however, is also applaud worthy. It complements the cinematography and adds to the depth of each scene. Overall, Gehraiyaan is a visual treat, and while it has its flaws, it is definitely a weekend watch. You can catch it on Amazon Prime. And before you go, do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more reviews and discussions. And click on that bell icon for latest notifications. And we will see you all in the next